Welcome to Draftmate, an extension for your Chrome or Edge browser to help you dominate your fantasy leagues. Good evening. I'm David Krupski, founder, CEO, and creator of Draftmate. I just wanted to create a short video to walk you through what Draftmate looks like in the middle of a live draft. So I've joined the Superflex Best Ball Tournament live draft starting at 11:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm actually drafting in the 112 position. My first two picks were Jaden Daniels and Brock Bowers. And so I want to walk you through a little bit about how I use Draftmate to give you a better understanding of why I think it is such a great product. In short, I created this because I got tired of playing with Google Sheets, typing names in. AI is just too good right now to be able to quickly analyze and sort all this data. So I started to play around and created this program, honestly, for no other reason, just to help myself. But I feel that this program is so good that I felt that it was selfish for me just to keep it myself. So as you can see, this is a super flex draft. So quarterbacks are ranked pretty high. So I use rankings that I've already uploaded, and I have three main types here: best ball, superflex, gorilla, main event, classic, any type of redraft. So since this is a superflex, as soon as I enter, the format is already chosen for me. My ranks versus value. Ranks is strictly from the rankings that I use. Value I'll explain in a moment, but ultimately it gives you a little bit more information. As you can see, what it gives you is the position for the rankings I use, which quarterback. So Dak Prescott is considered the sixth best quarterback according to the rankings I use. But right now, according to where we are at the 23rd pick, he is a plus 11 value. So if he is not chosen, this number will go up because he becomes an additional value. See, he was not chosen. He becomes a plus 12 value against the rankings that I'm using. You will also then see ADP based on the average draft position for each player. So you can see that Dak Prescott for the rankings is very highly ranked and valuable in this format. Now remember, Superflex in FFPC is you must start one. You can start one in the Superflex position, and then you can start another one. Best value is choosing three quarterbacks. The movement forward into the playoffs in rounds 15, 16, 17, from 14 to 15, 2 and 4 are really a wash. The advance rates are around the same amount, but it's when you have three quarterbacks is the sweet spot. So I almost always go with three quarterbacks. So in this case, I chose Jaden Daniels at the 201, Brock Bowers at the 112. Could have swapped it, doesn't matter. So as you can see here, I get to take a look at what quarterbacks are available. And you notice it's Superflex, so it's showing me a whole bunch of quarterbacks. And you might say, well, that doesn't really help me because I don't do Superflex, or maybe I don't want a quarterback. Great. So if you go down here and you click on Flex, quarterbacks are completely filtered out, and you can see now who the best values are. Say you want to focus on a tight end. You get your tight ends. Wide receiver, even running back. Specifically, if you want to focus on a team, you can do running back in Detroit. It will then filter who is available on Detroit. As you can see from the rankings, of course, there are other Detroit running backs, as you can see here, but the rankings don't have that. So that's why they won't show up there. Besides, you're not drafting Jabari Small. So if you go back to the all and you go back to the all again, because I'm at the 3-4 turn, if I want another quarterback, I'm probably going to have to take one here. Now you might say, well, how do you know which quarterback to take? So I have my exposure rates. As you can see, I'm underweight, 8% being normal. I'm underweight on Patrick Mahomes. I'm higher up on Purdy, Stafford, Love, almost even with Kyler Murray. But when you hover over it, it actually tells you that I have Purdy on 12 of 113 Superflex Best Ball Tournament teams. So this gives you an idea of how many times I've taken him. Now remember, this is on the rankings. For if you do other Superflex drafts, these numbers will differ, but I don't, so that's why these numbers are the same. Now when you go to value, this is where things change. You will see something pop up here that has to do with playoffs. So weeks 15 through 17 are the playoffs in FFPC, DraftKings, or Underdog. And so I specifically built this in here to where I can create leverage and advantages based on if I want to focus on week 15, 16, or 17. Mike Leone of ETR talks a lot about how people don't value week 16. I agree with him. It's just not something I focus on, but I agree with him. I can also focus on QB stacks, team stacks, team stack meaning running back, tight end, wide receiver on the same team, and your bring back for week 17. So as you can see, it's almost my pick, and I think this would be a good way for you to look and see what I'm thinking, but also how the product works. Sometimes it gets in the way, and I move it down a little bit so I can see here. It can move anywhere within the window. You can make it mostly transparent if you need to see, but also you can minimize it. Now once it's minimized, you can't move it around, so if you want to move it over here, you can minimize it, and that's it. So let's take a look and see what I've got. So I'm probably going to take a wide receiver and or running back because I need one. I already have a tight end, so I'm good on that. Now if I go here, you'll notice I don't have a lot of pick-ins. I'm very underweight on Jeremiah Love. I'm not a big fan of him this year. He's a rookie. He's a phenomenal talent. I don't doubt that. So I'm looking at, do I want a quarterback? Do I want a running back, wide receiver? So as I said here before, this is Superflex, and I think I'm going to take 2 quarterbacks. So my buy here, week 7. So as long as I don't take somebody else here. Purdy's a pretty strong value, as you can see. I like Purdy this year, even with the injury to Ricky Pearsall. So I will select
now you are on the clock.
Brock Purdy. Now, I'm not going to take a third quarterback right now. There's just no need because you can only start 2, and most likely a Purdy and a Daniels are going to start most weeks, even in Superflex where where touchdowns are valued a little bit less, and so are yards. So here I'm looking at another player, position player, running back, wide receiver. So if I look at the running backs and I start to look and think who's going to come back to me at around 60, I can see there's a few players left. Some of these guys are okay, but I find the value here in wide receiver. As you can see, -1. Now remember, because there's Superflex, they really value a lot of
seconds left.
the quarterbacks here, as you saw. So I see Drake London as a really good value, same with Pickens. So I'm actually going to take London here. I think he's a good value for what I need. And as soon as I make the pick, Drake London is gone. But more importantly, Drake London, when I go into here, he actually is already located on that team. So the moment you take a pick, the pick is already uploaded in here, all done automatically. The math is already done. Everything is set up. And that is how I use Draftmate in Best Ball, in Redraft on FFPC, but also how I use it on DraftKings and also Underdog, both Best Ball. Thanks for watching. Get more information at getdraftmate.com.